Among its East African neighbors, Kenya is the only country paying import duties on its horticulture and floriculture products to the European Union. This after the East African community failed to reach an economic partnership agreement with the EU.
Well, as you know, since 2 days now, we have a new system, a new trade regime that came into force, which is called the Generalized System of Preferences, whereby Kenya exporters are facing higher tariffs, duties for entering the European Union.
Some of the Kenyan exports affected in the Generalized System of Preference trade regime include flowers, which will face tariffs of up to 8.5%, fish, which will attract around 6%, fresh vegetables that include beans and peas will attract more than 15%, while fruit and juices will cost exporters well over 11%. Coffee and tea were exempted from the tariffs. Chief Executive of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Betty Maina, expressed her disappointment that Kenya is the only country paying the tariffs in Africa. Maina said, and I quote, that thousands of jobs are under threat in the industry as exporters of fruit and vegetable have radically reduced operations and the European Union market is not willing to spend more on the produce.
Both sides are willing to conclude these negotiations as soon as possible. We are looking to a date for meeting again. However, this date has not been set so far. Likely this meeting will take place in Brussels, but no dates are set.
Christophe Divroy, Trade and Communication Councillor at the European Union, says negotiations on reaching an agreement between the EU and the EAC are being revived to help end the current stalemate. Even though the agreement is signed, Kenya's position is particularly risky, since the other East African states are classified as least developed countries and will continue to enjoy quota-free exports to Europe. That is not the case for Kenya, since it's considered a developing country. Divroy says Kenya will likely pay the Generalized System of Preference duties for another 4 months or so, until legislation on the trade agreement is finally passed into law by the European Union Parliament. The EU bloc has reiterated that no refunds will be issued for the tariffs paid by exporters.
Well, the European legislation does not provide any form of possibility of refunding import duties that have been paid. Whether such possibility may exist within the Kenyan or EAC legislation, I don't know, but European Union legislation for sure doesn't provide any form of reimbursement.
The European Union has, however, praised efforts by the Kenyan government to control chemical residue in its fresh exports such as beans and peas. The East African community exports plants, flowers, vegetables, coffee, fish and tobacco to the European Union, while the EU exports machinery, chemicals and vehicles to East Africa. Kiyo, CCTV.